Yeah, my buddy did that.
With some
My
wooden
first
rifles.
roommate in college, he was ROTC and got kicked out. Got kicked out of school and the ROTC, which is hard to do because the ROTC needs your ass to stay. They need people bad.
What did he do? Smoking weed?
Never showed up. Showed up drunk if he did show up. Was drunk and never showed up. Yeah. So he'd have his, he'd have superiors yelling at him, come and get him out of his dorm room. His whole life needed structure, so it was good, but it never worked for this dude because nothing was going to fix him. He was on his own little planet.
So guys that are on their own little planet, and then they go to the military, and they got long hair, and they cut their hair, and then they kind of deprogram you, right? Where you laughed and the guy fucking kicked you in your ass. You were laughing at him, and he's like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?"
Yeah, yeah.
And so they're breaking you down, and then we all become the same. We all, and then all the same.
They give you
all think the same.
I don't know, propaganda, what they do to you, but all of a sudden, it's the Army way, and you got to do it that way. You believe in it. You believe in it. It's not till after I came back that I was in Germany and I said, war is hell. There are no winners in war. Nobody wins. Either side, nobody wins. Everybody has people dying. Everybody has family. We have people that love them. And yet, we go over there and we do this because they're asking us to. Mm-hmm. And you don't think twice about it. When you're in the middle of it, man, all you can think about, hey, we got to take care of business. You're guarding your partner, you're guarding you want to stay alive, you're fighting to stay alive.
How often were you scared? Were you scared ever?
Can you forget that you're in Vietnam?
No.
By just doing your job? I don't think you could.
No, yeah.
Because when every day you look out,
it's there.
It's there.
I had an old pilot that had seen me on television doing police work here. Through the department, he got in touch with me and he said, I had to talk to you. He says, weren't you ever afraid? Because all you did was laugh. He says, that's all you ever did here. And I was a crew chief on a helicopter. So essentially, when you're up there flying, you're shooting a gun. That's all you're doing. And he says, and we've been through some heavy stuff. And I said, Mr. Johnson, I can still hear you saying, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. He's in a hover hole. We're just hovering. He says,
oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God.
I can hear you saying, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. He says, and all I can hear you is laughing, saying, it's okay, Mr. Johnson. They're just throwing softballs at us. You just keep flying. You're doing good. And he got us out of it, and I owe the guy my life. He's the one that got us up and out of it. We're taking all this shit.
Those were before Black Hawk. Those were just.
I know. Those are like the Hyundais of the sky.
Yeah.
And they didn't even bring them back. Off the aircraft carrier, they ditched them in the water.
Yeah, they got rid of them.
They threw them in the water.
And
planes.
I was too stupid to be afraid, and I'd sit there. After you're going hot, then you're breaking away because you're going to come back and make another run. You're saying, oh, dear God, just let me get through this one. Come on. Please, God, help me out. You get through it on the way back. But once you were away from it, you're all good. It doesn't matter. It's just like walking down the block again.
Well, you're a bunch of young kids is all I can ever think about. It's like, are you sneaking away trying to see girls ever?
Over there?
Yeah, over there.
No.
Never?
No.
On leave, though.
Well, no, I take that back. Yes.
I was going to say, it's a bunch of 19-year-old boys.
You'd go into town, and it was restricted because it was a heavy fortified VC bait, where we were at. So you're allowed to go into open storefronts if there were stores. You weren't allowed to go off the street. And really, if you had the time, and I didn't get to go into town that often, but when you did, you couldn't wait to get off the streets.
Right.
Just go catch a little, hey, buku, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Buku, boom, boom.
Shit, all right. Buku, bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Buku, boom, boom.
Boom, bang, bang.
And these little kids that would steal the shit out of you, they just... That movie, Good Morning Vietnam, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
The way the kids steal shit, that's just the way they were. And I didn't realize it then. You leaving little pieces of shit. Well, they're doing what they got to do to get by. So we'd go by and get boxes of C-rations. And put...
What was in those?
Oh, C-rations were canned meats, ham and eggs, meatloaf, boned chicken. There were vegetables in them. Some of that shit was good.
I was going to say, I guess some of it's got to be all right.
Yeah, I trade around. I love the ham and eggs.
And so it's in like a tin, and you open it, you heat it, or you just open it and eat it?
If you had time to heat it, you'd heat it. Sometimes you didn't. And you had these little P-38s. They're a little can opener, just a little small thing. Went around.
The little key like that.
Open it up, eat your stuff. So you'd take a case of them. In a case, there was 12 boxes of C-rations. And so... you'd leave the box in the back of the Jeep or in the back of the truck so they could see that it was there, knowing that they're going to steal it.
Oh yeah, as like a just take it.
And you fire on them?
Take it.
The free.
No, you'd put a smoke grenade in there.
Oh
And
man, that's awesome. Man.
open the box and
That's like when you go to rob a bank and you go, look, oh man, bam!
Yeah.
Right? Fucking die all over you.
put smoke on them or give them. They loved candy, so X-Lax. Give them X-Lax. You're different. It's a different world, when you're doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And just watch. And they'd run around. They'd run fast. There's no way this fat ass is ever going to get. I was thin then, but I'm not going to chase anybody. So they'd run, and then you hear. And then you can see the smoke coming up, and then you'd see him run around. You buku number 10, new number 10 GI, and then pumping you off, but didn't hurt anybody. It was just
for fun.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 18. I just turned 18.
18.
I turned 18 November
fuck?
29th, and I was there the first week of February.
What did you do on your 18th birthday? Do you remember? On the actual day of, like you were probably still in high school, right?
Yeah, I was a senior in high school.
You remember, Grant?
I don't remember. What did you do?
I went to Buffalo Wild Wings in Ann Arbor, Minnesota with my friends.
That sounds about right.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I think
yeah.
we went to Hooters. I'm almost positive we went to Hooters. My buddy's dad. I think he took
I
us
was
to Hooters
I was in
restaurant.
Chicken wings. You got
I was in Fort Stewart, Georgia. I was in the Army by myself.
You know what I did? I went with the guys I was playing baseball with April 23rd, the day of my 18th birthday. Went to Hollywood Boulevard to the Pussycat Theater, and we watched Deep Throat and The Devil and Miss Jones. Fucking cochinos, eh? Still in high school, man.
My heroes.
And then we had the first baseman, Eddie Rincon, this big dude, and he would laugh like, and then when they were fucking, he would just be laughing. We're like, Eddie, shut the fuck up. They'd never seen, I don't know, no, I'd never seen a porno.
How was Deep Throat? It's like the iconic one, but I don't know how many people actually see it.
This is a good movie.
I think it was tons of people saw that, right?
It had
But
that
wait, it
whole-
was on.
da-da-da-da, boing.
It was
had that
on
music.
Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, it was on.
It had
Hollywood.
that music, da-da-da-da-da, boop.
Yeah.
That kind of shit soundtrack.
By the way,
yeah.
I got to give the other side of it, okay? So I messed with the kids. Nothing serious, never hurt anybody.
Were you going to go and get some American
But I
motherfucker with me? You're gonna
did.
do
But
that.
I did help start an orphanage over there. And I wrote back the city that I grew up in, Pico
What do you
Rivera.
mean? You left all the kids in one fucking little house?
Yeah.
No, they were
Orphanage.
They were living. It
impromptu
touched my heart when we saw these little kids,
it's awful,
eight
man.
8 years old, teaching them how to protect their village. With Uzis and any gun that they could get their hands on. So then, the guys that I was flying with, everybody just took it upon themselves. Wrote home. I wrote home to my family in Pico. They put it in the local Pico press, the Pico paper, and asking for help. So I got clothes and stuff sent to me. We helped start a village, a little orphanage back there. The orphanage is still in existence today.
Wow.
They're still supported by the same guys that.
Same kids are there. They're fucking 75 years old.
yeah.
They're still there. They never got out of paper came to get them.
One of the kids was a little girl that is now married, alive, and well, living in Huntington
Big
Beach.
tetas?
Yeah.
Probably not because you're chinita. Probably not.
And
Probably long
alive and
nipples,
well.
but nothing.
Nothing else.
Heavy long nipples.
She's wanted to thank people, because she made it out. She was part of the orphanage, and she's here now.
It's wild.
That's insane.
Do you ever go in the middle of the night and scare her?
Yeah.
You get $1, or you go to a window. The helicopter.
Smoke grenade.
Hey, so, I don't know, man. I just don't. It's fine. I'm fascinated by asking you because I know that I'm not sure. There were no like IED, like none of the stuff like they had in Afghanistan where you're walking and you blow up.
No, and I didn't worry about that. They
didn't booby trap back
They
then?
had mines
all
back then,
sorts
but
of
I wasn't on
booby
the
traps.
roads. I was up in helicopter, so land and get back to my hooch. And the only time I was ever in a vehicle was when we had to go pick up more ammunition or go make a trash.
What would you
dump.
take? Food to the guys, pick up trash, like get down low, dump all the shit, maybe take a guy with you and get the fuck out of there, like fly in and fly out?
No, I'm telling you, that's the only time I was in a vehicle. In a helicopter, two kinds I was there. Number one, for the first 7 months, I was in what we call slicks. These are Huey helicopters that would go in. We would resupply, take them either food, their mail, ammunition, new troops. We would extract old troops, wounded troops, dead troops. Wow. So insertion, extraction. That's what we did. At one time, we were flying defoliation, this Agent Orange that you hear about. Mm-hmm. They put a big fucking bladder inside the helicopter with sprayers out there, and then we'd fly over rice paddies. Matter of fact, that's the only time I ever saw somebody that I ever shot, because when people are shooting at you, you're shooting back, all you're seeing is muzzle flashes. Well, now I'm flying over a rice paddy, and right by the end of these dikes that are in between them, as we're going, all of a sudden, and you're flying slow. You're low and slow, and all of a sudden, some little ding jumps up and hit the helicopter at least 3 or 4 times before I reacted, and I hit him. And when I hit him, man, he flew, bam! He flipped and fell and went back down. And as soon as that happens, you immediately have to drop smoke to mark the spot, and then you pull up and out. Wow. And then the gunships that are flying escort for you, they come in with miniguns and rockets. And so that day, I just made a decision. Man, I'm tired of running. Every time you get shot at, you got to run. The big boys with the guns come in. So I went in and I said, I want to fly guns. So I went to gunships. And never saw another Vietnamese soldier or anybody, South Vietnamese, VC, North Vietnamese, that I hit. But then I did, and that's the only one I ever saw in country. The rest of the time is all gunships. So
is there a reason for tracer fire so they can see where they're shooting?
Yeah,
So
and
it's
I
just
want to
not
say,
something you can't
my
see?
memory serves me correctly. It's every 5th or every 10th round is a tracer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
So the other guys would come in after you guys to clean up, huh?
we didn't go in to clean up. Nobody went in to clean up. You did what you had to do. And
I meant finish up. If there was, would they go in to make sure there was no other soldiers there? Is that why they were backing up?
No.
Why would they come in after you guys then? When you put
The
flare out?
gunships, as soon as you'd mark the spot where it happened.
Yeah.
First thing you do is you incoming or shots fired, and then I would throw one. There'd be another slick behind me. He would
to
throw
light
one.
'em up.
So the gunships, we would then pull out the gunships and know, okay, somewhere between the 2 smokes, that's where the enemy was.
Just
So they just come in with miniguns and rockets.
What was the caliber? What were you shooting?
I was using M60.
60s.
7.62 rounds. And the M16 was 5.62.
And it was every 5 rounds for tracers.
Yeah.
I watched Restepo, that thing.
Yeah.
And they said with that 50 caliber gun with a sniper, even if it misses somebody, if it goes by them, it'll sear their skin.
Yeah,
It's going so fast.
50 calibers is an ugly, big, vicious weapon. We could never shoot something like that, with what we had.
That's a big, isn't it? It's huge, isn't it?
Big
it's
asshole
massive.
round.
Yeah, you see them, you can't believe they go in and come out of a fucking gun. That's so big.
Those guys, I did the Harry Truman out there in the ocean a couple years ago, and I shot the 50 caliber, and you're not even looking, the ship, the gun is out there, but you're in here looking at a screen, and you have the red thing, and you look, and they fire, and you just shoot into the thing. But I go, what do you see out here? He goes, And those guys are like, oh man, this is some Somali pirates, and they try to come at us. And I go, what do you guys do? He goes, Jordan, they disappear like in a puff of red, like flap.
They're gone.
They disintegrate.
And they don't give a fuck.
There's a 50 cal bullet.
Yeah, it's
big.
massive.
There you go.
It's the
Bigger
biggest
than
thing
a
I've
dollar
ever seen.
bill.
They ride up on us, and he goes, they ride up on us in these dinkety ass fucking things, and they start shooting like you hear pop, pop, and they're like, are they fucking shooting?
Those guys have balls, man. They run up on the biggest ships.
Fucking light them up.
Yeah, they do.
We went.
You hear that, Somali pirates?
When I was
Motherfucker, you guys don't even have shoes, eh?
Don't be running up on our boats.
flying guns, they gave us a mission. It was to search and destroy pack elephants. The North Vietnamese and the South Vietnamese were using elephants to transport their food and ammunition, their weapons. So they said, okay, here's where they're last seen. There's a group, go out there. So we go out there.
Shoot elephants?
Shoot elephants. And we went out, and what we did was we had white phosphorus, Willie Peter, in the rockets. So you'd go in here, light it up this way, make another run, and light it up that way. So the only way the elephants can get out is
Oh my God.
you'd close
waiting
them out
for the
3 ways.
clearing.
Yeah, and they'd say, okay,
Here they come.
here they come. You guys get them first. So they allowed us. We had freewheeling 60s. You guys get the and remember, this is
So there's smoke. There's smoke here, and they're looking. They just see smoke, and they don't see smoke there, so they're running.
they're running out
Right
that
towards
way.
you.
Yeah, towards the open door. And this is
I think that's better than a circus. Huh?
Yeah, man.
this is
Not for
Byron
them.
Belly, take notes, man.
remember, this is war, and it's not something that I would ever do or think of. Or
Yeah, no. Yeah.
don't write me letters, animal activists. But they're coming out, and then the pilots said, okay, you guys get first crack. So we're shooting our freewheeling 60s at them, and you hit them, and a 60 on that elevator just like flies.
Yeah, I was gonna say that can't hurt him that much.
That inbound, we said, okay, your turn's up, now our turn. Then they'd come in, and they'd hit them with rockets. But all that ever happened with rockets is they hit right below there, and the elephant you just see the elephant just go boom,
Fall over. Yeah.
fall over sideways,
Dead.
dead.
Like shocked hit.
I don't know what the fuck
System
we were going to go
gone.
down. We were going to
Stiff.
go down with the stethoscope.
Yeah.
You know, we just
Take its pulse. See how it is.
There's no head.
Yeah.
You just go
Nobody's
for, they go for the legs though. That's all
nobody's
they were doing,
calling
right?
code blue. Well, with rockets, you're just
Shooting
all
at
you're-
it.
Yeah, you're aiming at anything close, and back then the sights for rockets weren't that really.
This was the site for the rocket.
This was a
Yeah.
sight, and what you would do is they'd put a little circle with an X on the windshield. You know,
Oh my God.
So you'd aim, okay,
Like
there
a
it is.
decal.
Bam!
Yeah. They would just move it if it was
Oh,
off.
there
Like,
you go.
nah,
Yeah,
put that sticker
right?
over here.
You'd aim it over there.
So you had to be more of a marksman than I would say now, maybe.
Yeah, you'd have to shoot it. Okay, let's see where that. Okay, now let's try it again. And
I'm like Googling this as you're talking about it. I'm not even finding a lot of results about people talking about shooting elephants.
Yeah.
In the, like,
I'm
this
sure
is-
they didn't brag about it.
But
No,
like,
it's
I
not
don't know,
something-
I
I'm
wanna
sure that
say
was-
breaking news.
I'm sure that was military. I'm sure that was military secrets. I mean, that was like you don't talk about.
nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, and I emphasize that was war, not something that should be done. You know, you talk about. It was ugly. There are no winners in war.
Did you ever have to hand somebody?
No.
No street fight. No.
You
Nobody
were
came
in
up
the
to
air.
you.
No,
Do you think it was safer in the air than it was on the ground?
Oh, I do. You ask
See,
the
I
guys.
feel
in
that, right? That's what my first thought was because
and
on
the
the
guys
ground,
on the ground
shit.
think just the opposite. They were scared to death of being in the air, and this fat ass didn't want to be in the jungle with scorpions and rats and tigers. And
I'm with you.
all
I'm
that
up. I'm
shit.
way up. Put me in the
You know,
sky.
and then
Blah, 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 blah.
I'd come home, you know, I'd land, rearm, refuel, and then go back to my hooch where I had a cot and I had a, you know.
So you'd be away.
yeah.
But then also there'd be guys behind you, bigger helicopters behind you, or to
well,
cover you.
in the slicks, when you always had gunship escorts. You know, you always had these gunships escorting with you. And when you're in gunships, you know, shit following you. You're just gunnies. You're not gonna be going down and landing. You're just gonna be flying and shooting and then coming back home.
How many of those things just fell on the just malfunctioned and crashed on their own? Did that happen a lot or no?
No, it's either pilot error or they got shot down. They don't fall down on their own.
So they could shoot at you and penetrate the gas.
Fuck yeah! So a helicopter is just thin. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't shit. So-
But I guess that's what I mean is like those things must have been. I mean, no one's checking them down every time you take them off, right? You're just going. Are the mechanics
There
looking
wasn't
at them?
much
yeah. We're checking them.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, every day. The crew chief, that was my job. I'd get out there and check the helicopter out and make sure that it's flyable.
Right.
I'm going to get in it. It's going to be flyable.
Right.
And you get it up, you get in the air. If it took rounds, well, then you come back and now they got to patch those rounds up and they got to make sure we didn't hit anything. There's a few spots, you know, if you lose an engine, you can still go down. You just got to find a place to land it. You lose your tail rotor,
You're done.
You're unless you got a long runway to go to, you're toast. You know, the drive shaft going to the rotor. You know, there's a few places that are really vulnerable, especially if you hit the pilots.
There were some dudes that were shot down that some pilots that got held as prisoners, right?
Yes,
And
sure.
they parade them through the street. There was a Latino guy.
Yeah, there was several of them. Most of them were fighter jet jockeys because you know they're the ones that got shot down. They saw them coming down. Not many people survived helicopter crashes. You know, much.
It's a
much more
shorter
brutal.
time to get to the ground, right?
Yeah.
You fall out of a plane, you got
You
plenty
don't
of
have
time to live.
parachutes. You don't have
Right.
parachutes
Yeah.
or anything.
There's not one parachute on a helicopter?
No.
Damn.
But I think when you hit,
I might bring my own.
you
They're
jump
like,
out
what's up
of
with that
bag,
backpack? I'm like, no, I just have a backpack
We
today.
were.
Get out, and just as you get, it comes out.
We had
From-
armor plating, and flak jackets,
Right.
and I never wore them.
You know, because you thought if you're
Sat on them. I sat.
Did you
the
wear
armor
it?
plating on the floor.
Let me ask you this: did you wear it because you couldn't button it, or because you wanted to sit on
You
it?
motherfucker! No.
You didn't have an extension
No,
little vest?
shit. The
when you
bullets
go
are coming
swimming?
from.
do you have an extra seatbelt? I need the
Below.
extender for the.
You know, they're coming from below. They're not going to.
I think it's better to sit on them, man.
Yeah, that's
Can you imagine
smart.
if they
There's
shoot
logic.
up there, it goes through the helicopter in
Exactly.
your ass,
Exactly.
In your fucking nuts.
in your
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
nuts. You lay there.
God
what the
forbid. Why would you want to live if that happened?
Did you ever see someone get shot in a helicopter next to you or near you?
My gunner got shot. He took one in the back.
But did he live?
Yeah, he lived. He got sent back to the United States. I'm assuming. He's
When I used to
still
work
alive.
during the day in Northridge at what was that place, Telenine or whatever the fuck that was. There was a guy named Dennis Stapp, S-T-A-P-P, and he was kind of short guy with a beard, and he walked in a little thing, but just a roly-poly type dude. And then we were talking about him, And they said, Dennis was in Vietnam. And I said, get the fuck, Dennis was in Vietnam? He goes, yeah, he was a tail gunner on a helicopter. So we used to go to lunch and we're walking over, and I said, hey, man, you were in Vietnam? And he goes, yeah, I was a tail gunner. I said, what is that? I shot, cleared the roads. We went and shot anything that moved. The tanks were going down there and we had to clear the way. I said, you shoot kids? He goes, maybe. I just shot wherever.
Anybody.
I had to protect either them or me.
Right.
I said, you never had any nightmares or anything? He goes, no, I was doing my job.
Oh, it just
And
went
he's
right
like,
through
wow,
him.
man.
Wow.
I was doing my job. That's what I was paid to do. It's going to be me or them. It's not going to be me.
The only nightmares I've ever had about that place is I'm stealing a helicopter.
What is it?
Get the fuck out.
Stealing I wanted to fly so bad because I learned how to fly when I was there.
Oh, wow.
But I wanted to fly so bad. I'd always I'm always stealing a helicopter. I'll get on a base and I'm stealing it. I'm starting up and I'm taking off and flying.
That's your dream. Do you dream still today about it?
Yeah, I still dream about flying.
Let's get you a fucking helicopter.
Oh, shit.
Let's go steal one.
I love
Bird
flying.
flies them.
When I worked homicide, we had our murder scenes. I would always go up in the Bird and take my own pictures.
Does Bird fly helicopters?
No,
Burr.
Burr.
Bird does?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? Bird does?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he was
man.
just about to take like his next
right before
test.
COVID.
and then he's been studying, but then he had to put it off. But yeah, he's very, very into it.
He's the kind of guy that's going to get it and then buy his own fleet of helicopters.
You know it.
Yeah, because he's so into it. For a long time, he was talking about how much he loved it, and then he was going to take a final exam to fly independently.
Yes.
And COVID hit. Yeah, because I don't. It's a ton of hours. I remember he told me one time it's an insane amount of stuff you have to do to get approved.
That was one of the reasons I really wanted to be a deputy, only because they took their pilots from within the rank and file. They wanted to have their pilots. They wanted to bring them in, and they were already indoctrinated, into law enforcement work. And I ended up going, as my career went on, my dream was eventually to get the Homicide Bureau. I didn't make it. I didn't get the Aero Bureau. I wanted to go to Homicide Bureau. A good buddy of mine went through the academy together, worked patrol together. He went to Aero Bureau, and he had been a Marine Corps fighter pilot. And so he's over at Aero Bureau, and he flies a helicopter, he flies fixed wing. And one time he had to fly me up to San Jose on a case. And it's just him and I in the plane, the fixed wing. And he says, hey, Gil, he says, you want to take off? We're flying out of Long Beach. He says, you want to take off? And I said, yeah. So there it is, man. Pulled back, dude. I got in, pulled up, and we're flying. And God, this is the greatest fucking feeling. I'm up and away. So I said, okay, you got it. And he took it back. And I said, God damn it. There's only one job I would leave Homicide Bureau for. I said, and that's for Aero Bureau to become a pilot.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Never got it. Huh?
Yeah, and he says, there's only one job I'd leave Aero Bureau for, and that's the lateral over to Homicide Bureau. And he says, unfortunately for the both of us, he says, I'm not a good investigator, and you're even worse as a pilot, so we better just keep our fucking days
Stay where you are.
Yeah.